Well, hello Earth2 community and welcome back to another video. So this video is going to be a little risque. It's going to be one that's going to cover some of the things that we don't usually cover on this channel. That is, tonight we're going to look at the very human aspect of those involved in the Earth2 project. This is Earth2 In The Know, and let's get into it. So you don't have to look very far to see that there are many different personalities in the social networks that we all share. I mean, we all see it. We all see the endless amount of back and forth from members of the community who often disagree. Hopefully in this video we can break down why these quote-unquote opinions from screen names can be very impactful to the mental health of those involved in the project. Anyone who's been in any of the other Discord servers beside the E2 official server that are E2 related know that there are so many who are quick to share a hot take. So why is it so important for this person to persuade you in one way or another? To answer this question, let us simply take a look at human psychology and how the brain connects to the ego. Before we go any further, we just want to say that this video is not being made to point fingers at anyone or to put any of these personality types under the looking glass. This is just a school of thought that has already been established by people much, much smarter than any of us here at the channel. Just putting that out there. We are simply applying this logic to those in the Earth2 community, whether it be someone who is a diehard or someone who's a critic. For this video, we're going to start with a few examples from helpguide.com about how social media actually affects the ego and mental health. Human beings are social creatures. We need the companionship of others to thrive in life. And the strength of our connections has a huge impact on our mental health and happiness. Being socially connected to others can ease stress, anxiety, and depression. It can boost self-worth, provide comfort and joy, prevent loneliness, and even add years to your life. On the flip side, lacking strong social connections can pose a serious risk to your mental and emotional health, writes Lawrence Robinson and Melinda Smith. Obviously, we all know that many great things can come from an online experience. Playing a metaverse game is how many people actually find love, ourselves included. I met my life partner, my lady, my wifey, on a game like 14 years ago. Just for a good time, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the pros that the article lists for the gaming environment, the social media environment. Let's just call it the Discord environment, because that's most applicable to Earth2, I feel like. Discord, Facebook, Twitter, those three main bases. Keep in mind that these are points made by the doctors who wrote this article. They say that social media enables you to... We're going to go over a few examples here. So by far, probably the most important feature of social media is to give you the ability to communicate and stay up to date with family and friends all around the world. That pretty much changed the entire world whenever the WWW, the World Wide Web, was first invented, all of those years ago. Something that's very dead on for this community, I feel like, is the ability to find new friends and communities. You can network with other people who share similar interests and ambitions. Obviously, we're all here for one reason or another. For most of us, it is to plan out and network with people to build something for the future. We all know and enjoy the fact that you can join or promote worthwhile causes, raise awareness on important issues. You can seek or offer emotional support during tough times. You know, like when you lose your ether bonus or something. It also points out the fact that social media helps you find vital social and professional connections if you live in a remote area. For example, or if you have limited independence, social anxiety, or are part of a marginalized group. And of course, another great result of social media is it gives you an outlet for creativity and self-expression. Thank you, YouTube. Social media also gives you the opportunity to discover sources of valuable information and learning, although we do urge to triple, quadruple check your sources and make sure that you're not being fed a load of crap, because half the things on the internet are a lie. Honestly, though, who amongst those of us watching this video haven't had a friend in this situation, or maybe even fit in one of those categories ourselves? As a matter of fact, many people inside the Earth2 community have formed friendships that will probably last a lifetime. And as if we've mentioned before, it's even sent one couple to the altar. Anyone who has spent any time in the Discord, and it probably is applicable to all social medias, Twitter, Facebook, you name it, they know that there are some people who have been less than cheerful and upbeat in the recent developments inside the project. Some of those people may be suffering from the other side of the spectrum of spending massive amounts of time online. So we think it's important to look at what the article says some of the negative side effects are, because it's probably applicable. The first issue that they address is inadequacy about your life, which could apply to some of the users if they think that others are winning at something by reaching goals such as a certain number of tiles, a certain amount of essence, or profits that they've already realized. This could be a result that they may be needing a return on their investment faster, or maybe they just didn't have very much disposable income and could be upset if they are not a bigger player in the game. We here at E2I2K would like to remind people that no matter the size of your account, your real value comes from the contribution you leave behind in the world of Earth2. The second thing that the article talks about is isolation, which may also be another driver for these people to constantly argue their case on why they feel so wronged by Earth2 in some way. We understand this is a little out there and far-fetched. We're just trying to make a connection and show that it is possible that if you imagine that you thought you'd be hosting online parties for your friends on your exciting Web3 parcel within a few years, and here we are 3+ years later, and there's nothing, that you can see yet, except for what you perceive to be tiles on Google Maps, that just might fuel some discontent. That, however, is just the tip of the iceberg. The rabbit hole for the brain is massive. We do not want to dig much deeper for the context of this video, maybe later, but right now. The article also mentions the topics of depression and anger, being isolated, and if you are in what you believe to be the fight of your life to take down E2, we could totally see the connection. However, on that subject, we would like to make an effort to make a point here. No one ever made anyone buy anything, ever. All of these decisions, and just to be clear, we're talking about the ones where fiat were exchanged for digital goods. They were made by adults with free will. So just to sum up the point and drive it all home, most of the community does not feel that it needs saving from any one of these strong voices. Just to include everything, it also talks about cyberbullying and how the ease of lack of face-to-face interaction may lead to people being more apt to take place in this type of behavior. To be fair, there is not a ton of connection to the mindset with this aspect of the negative side of the overuse of social media in reference to Earth2. However, there are some related groups where this behavior is pretty prevalent. And the last exclusive impact on mental health that the overuse of social media covers is a big one. It's one that many people with loud voices have mastered, and that is self-absorption. We really don't need to expand on that one, but do hope that those who may need to do so take a look at their inner self and maybe adjust accordingly. As we stated at the beginning of this video, this is not intended to be a hit piece on anyone or make anyone feel like we are addressing them directly, as the same mindset applies to a lot of startups and even more so in non-traditional applications of technology. So what is it that makes someone so passionate about their fight, whether it be in either a favor of or against the project? Well, it's pretty simple. One has to look no further than the ego, the thing that has brought down many great men and even a few great empires. Even more so, we can look at the concept of confirmation bias, which basically translates to that no matter what the information is supplied, a person will think that it confirms that yes, they are indeed correct about whatever subject, whatever topic, doesn't matter. An example of this is that someone hates Paris, France, and says it's a terrible place because of the weather. They finally get talked into visiting, and it rains 2 out of the 7 days that they are there, hence confirming in their mind that in fact Paris is weather and it is a place are terrible. What this person does not account for is the many great memories others have made in Paris and the endless sunny picnics that were had on days without rain. The same thing happens in the Earth2 community with its users and its critics, meaning that when something happens to a user triggering a negative response, they negate the other users who are experiencing rewarding opportunities, and vice versa. The key to breaking this barrier between typical users and those who are extreme is maybe just a little bit of understanding what the other person is thinking and feeling, even if it differs from your own belief. With all of that put out there, we are not your 5th grade teacher, and that said, if you want to debate your case until you are blue in the face, you are absolutely free to do so. The only thing that we implore you to do is realize that not much of the energy you are putting out will probably be received by the team, as chances are they are hard at work at building this thing. Sometimes emotions, they get the better of people when financial gain is at risk. We understand this. Or when they feel that they are being viewed as foolish, or even when things seem lost. When the emotion starts to take over. Oh, I've lost my money. This is never going to go anywhere. This is taken forever. All of these things are simply emotions, not facts. Take a step back, relax. It is so very important to remember to not let that feeling consume you. Just remember though, we are all here waiting for this amazing new world to become a reality. And we are so close to people being live on the servers, exploring many of the options for gameplay that have already been developed. Do not get discouraged, as the future is within our view, and the world is literally on its way to going live. We want to thank everyone who watched this video with an open mind, as well as all of our regular viewers. You guys are simply the best. And listen, for those who watched it with a smirk or thinking how foolish I am, even calling me names, we here at the channel still have hope for you and your ego. As for us, we're going to stay focused with our nose to the grindstone, building connections, slotting jewels, staking essence, and all of the other opportunities we find advantageous as we wait being able to log into our avatar with the servers for the very first time and wear our Sentinel Anubis skin and to prepare for battling the Horde. That said, we would be amiss to miss the opportunity to invite you to subscribe to the channel for more E2 related content. As an authorized by the team content creator, our goal is to bring accurate, free from hype and speculation Earth2 content to those looking for a clear update of what's happening inside the space. We have a lot of fun here at the channel. We do giveaways on limited edition Earth2 merch, as well as try to put out content at least several times a week. We were going for near daily, but things got busy in my career, so I had to simmer down a little bit, but we're trying for at least 3 or 4 videos a week. Summing up this video, we want to encourage everyone to remember that we are all waiting on the same thing, and many people have invested a great deal of time and value, so try to be conscious of those who may not be having the same experience as you. That said, we appreciate you all, but sadly we must wrap up this video before we do in fact start sounding like that 5th grade teacher we were trying to avoid earlier. We love you all, and as always, we cannot wait to see you in the Earth2 metaverse.